Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into the prehistoric enigma offered by Graham Hancock's America Before. Published in 2019, this book takes readers on a breathtaking journey back in time, challenging conventional historical narratives by presenting evidence of a sophisticated, ancient civilization that once thrived in North America, long before Columbus's sail across the Atlantic. Hancock, a veteran in the field of alternative history, draws from a wide array of DNA studies and archaeological findings to support his theory that a cataclysmic comet event erased this advanced society from historical records. The author extrapolates that the cultural imprints of this lost civilization can be seen mirrored in the customs and knowledge of Egyptian and Native American civilizations, among others. Renowned for his provocative and controversial theories, Graham Hancock is not a stranger to academic dismissal from established archaeologists. Yet his perseverance has seen him author several best-selling books, including Magicians of the Gods, The Forgotten Wisdom of Earth's Lost Civilization, and Fingerprints of the Gods, The Quest Continues. America Before beckons those with an insatiable appetite for historical mysteries and imaginative adventures into the annals of the past. Historians, archaeologists, and anyone open to exploring alternative perspectives of human history, particularly those willing to question the established chronology of our ancestry, will find this book a captivating read. Hancock's extensive research and vivid storytelling promise a 20-minute exploration that is as intellectual as it is thrilling. Join us as we unearth the forgotten history buried beneath our feet in America Before. America Before, The Key to Earth's Lost Civilization. Introduction: Unearthing Ancient Mysteries. Was America inhabited far earlier than we thought? Imagine a map of the world, not as we know it today, but as it once was. Stretching back into a time long before our history books begin, and you'll find a narrative that challenges everything we thought we knew about the New World. America, a land of ancient secrets, might have been the cradle of a civilization far older and more advanced than history has led us to believe. Graham Hancock, a name synonymous with archaeological revelations, poses a radical theory that reshapes the timeline of human history, probing deep into the American soil and soul to unearth the traces of a lost culture. His proposition? That humans weren't just recent visitors here, but possibly the inheritors of a legacy etched in stone, water, and blood thousands of years before conventionally accepted. Set sail on a voyage of discovery with Hancock's thought-provoking insights, trekking across continents and diving beneath the waves of the collective human memory. Our compass points towards ancient myths, genetic anomalies, and celestial puzzles that might just rewrite the saga of America's past. In this adventure, you'll unlock the startling link between distant lands' genetics and the Native American lineage, the catastrophic events that engulfed entire continents in flames and forged a new Earth, the enigmatic clues hidden within an Egyptian temple that may narrate an American saga lost in time. Step closer, seeker of truths, for a tale of forgotten epochs, and witness humanity's footprint in an America Before. A realm shrouded not just in mystery, but also in the echoes of an epic unsung history. Part 1. Challenging Historical Timelines. The Debate over North America's First Inhabitants. When considering the peopling of North America, archaeologists have donned their detective hats and braved the depths of academic scrutiny. For decades, the established scholarly narrative was as rigid as stone, purporting that humanity's chapter in North America was relatively fresh, only about 4,000 years in the making. Alice Hrdlicka, an eminent name in anthropology, was the torchbearer of this theory, casting an intimidating shadow over any who dared diverge. Fast forward to the 20th century and the plot thickens. Findings from the 1920s and 1930s unveiled evidence that humans had prowled the American continents at least 12,000 years ago, a revelation that even the most stoic scholars couldn't ignore. The town of Clovis, New Mexico, became an archaeological hotspot as researchers unearthed exquisitely crafted projectiles nestled alongside the remains of long-extinct creatures like saber-toothed cats. This discovery was a game-changer, signifying human footprints on this land as far back as the relics could date. Yet instead of fostering a new wave of exploration, the academic realm cemented the Clovis first principle as a dogma, demanding any preceding human culture in America to be a mere figment. Thus, Clovis was enshrined not as a chapter beginning, but as an entire narrative in itself. The ridicule faced by those challenging the Clovis first consensus was enough to deter even the most audacious scholars. One such scorned rebel was a Canadian archaeologist who, in 2012, dared to postulate human activity in Yukon's caves dating back 24,000 years, met, predictably, with derisive laughter. This stubbornness to explore beyond the Clovis first paradigm serves as a cautionary tale, one that illustrates the necessity to question and investigate beyond the boundaries of so-called expertise. For history, much like the archaeological layers it rests upon, often holds secrets much deeper than surface-level acceptance would permit. With our minds primed for uncensored curiosity, let's delve into the array of signs that point to an America inhabited by humans long before the days of Clovis. Part 2. A Prehistoric Puzzle. The Mastodon that Rewrites North American History. A prehistoric creature's bones unearthed near San Diego is cracking the case wide open and upending long-held beliefs. The Clovis first theory, which maintains that early humans trekked into America through a previously ice-choked Bering Strait, suddenly appears shaky when faced with this new contender. According to this theory, an ice-free corridor that opened up around 14,100 years ago paved the way for human settlement. But this mastodon tells a different tale. Tom DeMere, peering into the past through his paleontologist's lens, discovered that human hands had fractured the animal's femoral bones, not through natural events, but deliberately, with instruments crafted by humans. This revelation initially skirted the lines of the established narrative, aligning with the extinction of mastodons approximately 12,000 years ago. However, the plot took an astounding turn. 2 decades past the initial find, a fresh radiometric dating analysis delivered a bombshell. The fossils were not from the era they were expected to be. They hailed from a jaw-dropping 130,000 years ago. This singular mastodon, through the echo of its ancient existence, defied the establishment's timeline, propelling the origin of America's human inhabitants tens of thousands of years into the past. The discovery, met with reactions that ran the gamut from incredulity to outright rejection, beckons us to consider an America peopled not just far earlier than once thought, but in a time when the world itself was vastly different. Now we're faced with electrifying enigmas that lie beyond the shadow of the mastodon. How did these people journey to America? What routes did they travel, and from what corners of the ancient earth did they emerge? As we puzzle over these questions, ready your compass for a journey into the unexpected and astonishing answers they command. Part 3. Genetic Riddles. The Mysterious DNA Trail. Linking the Americas to Australasia. If history had a DNA, it would be one of complexity and surprise, and it seems that the genetic heritage of some Native Americans is challenging the narrative we've come to accept. A remarkable genetic signal, embedded in the DNA of Amazonian peoples, raises profound questions about their ancestral journey and shakes the already crumbling foundations of Clovis first. In 2015, geneticists from Harvard Medical School, including Pontus Skoglund and David Reich, noticed a startling anomaly. Analyses published in Nature revealed an unexpected kinship between Native Americans in the Amazon and Aboriginal populations from Australasia, a connection that transcended vast oceans and defied simple explanations. The findings were tested rigorously, leaving no stone unturned, and the Australasian DNA persisted. The implications make for a thought-provoking hypothesis. Ancient voyagers from Australasia might have traversed the Pacific, reaching the shores of prehistoric South America. This theory implies that the Tetris of human migration is missing crucial pieces that don't quite fit with the long-accepted Bering Land Bridge narrative alone. Despite a prevalent academic perspective that paints our ancient ancestors as primitively earth-locked, there is evidence to consider. Homo erectus, capable of reaching Indonesian islands 800,000 years past, suggests an ancient knack for seafaring. Could not Homo sapiens have matched, if not exceeded, this oceanic venture across the Pacific? While experts like Eske Willerslev of the University of Copenhagen's Geogenetics Center may hold firm beliefs that the Americas were populated via overland migration, even they concede the confounding presence of this Australasian genetic signal. Willerslev, through communications with the author, has acknowledged the need for an explanation, and an ocean journey would be a simple one, if it weren't for the lack of concrete evidence supporting the capability for such travel at the time. But what if the evidence is merely waiting to be discovered, or worse, has been forever lost to the annals of time? Could the distinct genetic lineage in the Amazons be the faint echo of a bygone odyssey? The Amazon, that vast basin of biodiversity and ancient secrets, may yet have more revelations to offer. Part 4. The Hidden Splendor of the Amazon's Forgotten Civilization. As Brother Gaspar de Carvajal voyaged into the heart of the Amazon in the mid-16th century, the marvels he chronicled were penned with the fervor of a man struck by the grandiosity of his discoveries. He described encounters with sprawling cities, adorned structures rivaling the glory of imperial Spain, and fertile fields carved into the depths of the jungle. The immensity of these cities rivaled the expanse of Manhattan, and the intricacies of the porcelain wares he observed surpassed anything known in his own world. For ages, these accounts have been dismissed as mere fabrications. After all, how could the untamed Amazon sustain such advanced civilizations? But Carvajal, a devout man, stood by his testimony, and time, it seems, might prove him a herald of truth rather than a weaver of tales. The modern-day revelations from the dense Guatemalan forests, where over 60,000 Maya structures lay hidden until lasers peeled away the canopies, serve as a testament to the potential that the Amazon too cradles ancient urbanity beneath its green cloak. Turning our gaze to the dark, nutrient-rich soils spread across the Amazon, we encounter terra preta, a testament to skilled land management and agricultural proficiency. The creation of this black earth, synthesized from a medley of organic refuse, necessitates an intricate burn-smoldering process, one not easily stumbled upon through mere happenstance. Could such rich soil emerge from the hands of hunter-gatherers by chance? Or does it hint at a deliberate intellectual effort by an advanced society cultivating their niche within a challenging environment? As the fertile Amazonian earth whispers its centuries-old secrets, the notion of a complex civilization, fully in tune with its surroundings and pioneering its destiny through innovative agriculture, begins to take root. The soil can tell us much about the people who once touched it, but there are perspectives to be had from above that reveal the vast networks of a thriving ancient world. Let's lift our eyes to the skies and rediscover the glory of a civilization that defies history's silent treatment. Part 5. A Celestial Connection. Geometric Wonders from Amazonia to the Mississippi Valley. The year was 1977 when Alceu Ranzi, while airborne on a Smithsonian expedition, glanced down to witness the geometry of the earth etched in grand design below. These geoglyphs, sprawling across the Amazon, appeared as vast, symmetrical shapes, interconnected by purposeful roads and aligned with celestial patterns. These impressive formations, once thought to be a mere 750 years in age, would later be revealed through studies in 2012 to be twice as ancient. If one were to soar on the winds for another 11 hours to the Mississippi Valley, a familiar sight would unfold. The Newark earthworks present a grand octagon married to a flawless circle, synced in geometric matrimony, embodying a precision that marries the earth to the skies. A meticulous alignment pendulates between these earthworks and those at High Bank, some 60 miles distant, seducing observers with their architectural mastery. Though separated by vast distances and cultural boundaries, the motivations behind the American and Amazonian monolithic constructs seem as entwined as the shapes they manifest. Their silent stones and earth may serve as celestial canvases, marking the rhythm of the heavens. In these earthworks, lunar standstills, rare astronomical events, find their terrestrial stage as if scripted by lunar choreographers, plotted with a precision that sings of an intimate cosmic dance. This deep-seated celestial connection is not a solitary pursuit. At Poverty Point in Louisiana, earthen ridges pay homage to the dance of the solstices and the sun at equinox, laying bare an understanding of the cosmos that transcends mere observation. Unexplored potential lies in the Amazonian geoglyphs, which await their own starry forensic narrative, likely mirroring the precision found in Stonehenge and Angkor Wat. These monuments worldwide whisper of an astronomical legacy, a testament to a profound comprehension of the cosmos that might point to a shared pool of ancient wisdom. How then did these diverse builders across continents construct such architecturally and astronomically precise wonders? The answer could lie in a common origin, a primordial code of knowledge robust enough to be carried through the ages, transcending time and dispersing its influence across civilizations like the very stars that inspired them. Part 6. Parallels Beyond Borders. The Afterlife. Visions of ancient Egyptians and Native Americans gaze up at the Great Pyramid of Egypt, and within its ancient stones lies a passageway aimed straight at Orion's belt, believed to be a conduit for the souls of the dead to travel to the Duat. Travel thousands of miles to the mound structures of Alabama, and you'll hear echoes of a similar spiritual voyage where the soul ascends to the heavens through a celestial gateway marked by Orion. The resemblances between these two disparate cultures' views of the afterlife are not just intriguing, they are profoundly striking. The Egyptian sacred texts elaborate on an ascent where the soul scales a ladder to Orion, while Native American lore, as expounded by expert Professor George Langford, envisions a pathway along the Milky Way that culminates at the very same cosmic belt. Both civilizations marked the same window for this transition, a time when Orion's belt dipped low in the west, just before it slipped from view. From a dreaded leap to an alignment with astronomical cycles, the congruences are there, waiting for an explanation that doesn't include direct contact. For the timelines of these cultures never cross. Indeed, the parallels extend to the darker corners of afterlife mythologies. An Egyptian depiction presents a goddess wielding a hatchet, cleaving open the head of a deceased. Strikingly, Native American narratives speak of a fearsome figure known as the Brain Smasher who stalks the path to the afterlife. These coinciding narratives compel us to wonder, how could two civilizations that never met share such astonishingly similar spiritual concepts? One theory proposes they both inherited these ideas from a common, much older civilization. But before we fully embrace this enigmatic thought, our gaze must shift to a cataclysm over 12,000 years ago, a time that saw the very earth lurch into turmoil. To fathom the tangled roots of shared myth and memory, we must first comprehend the events that changed the course of living beings on this planet. Part 7. A Cataclysm from the Cosmos. The Comet Impact that Changed History. Step back in time to 12,800 years ago, and the Earth is plunging into a sudden and inexplicable chill, heralding the onset of the Younger Dryas, a mini ice age that abruptly saw global temperatures plummet. This long winter that gripped the planet has puzzled scientists, but a chilling theory points to a celestial assailant, fragments of a mammoth comet poised to rewrite Earth's history. Wendy Woolbach and peers, through availing the pages of the Journal of Geology, paint a fiery portrait of apocalypse. Layers of ash and vitreous carbon unearthed around the globe tell a somber tale of a bombardment that set the world ablaze. Nearly a tenth of Earth's vegetation succumbed to flames, casting a dark veil across the skies and triggering frigid conditions that spanned across centuries. Mammoth beasts, like the woolly mammoths and the saber-toothed tigers, fell silent in the wake of this cosmic storm. Clovis points, tools that mark the presence of a developed culture, vanished from the archaeological record, signaling the demise of an era. Yet in this darkest of times, the indomitable resilience of hunter-gatherers shone through. These ancestors of ours, seasoned in the arts of survival, withstood the relentless swing of climatic ruin. Their tenacity behooves us to ponder. If humanity were to face such a catastrophic event in our technologically driven age, it might be these hunter-gatherer communities, often overlooked by modernity, who would persist. Imagine, then, that in the lengthy span preceding this comet's wrath, a sliver of humanity had diverged, paving a more civilized trajectory, reaching for advancement and enlightenment. As the comet's shadow loomed, this incipient society, glimpsing its impending doom, might have sought to safeguard its cumulative wisdom, imprinting its essence onto the bedrock of time in hopes it would outlast the ice and fire. Part 8. Tracing the Echoes of a Vanished World. The Case for an Ancient Global Civilization. The mysterious emergence of the adept Clovis craftsman, the genetic whispers of Australasia across the Pacific, and the shared celestial traditions spanning continents. None of these historical enigmas find resolution in isolated development. Instead, they beckon us towards the possibility of a single ancestral civilization now lost to time. One that perished in the fiery winds of the Younger Dryas, but passed its torch through the ages. Imagine a society that before the cataclysm stood at the zenith of human achievement. With their eyes set upon the celestial vault, the astronomer priests of this civilization may have perceived the cosmic telltales of impending disaster. Armed with the foreknowledge of celestial patterns, they might have devised a plan to preserve their legacy, a union with the hunter-gatherers, those virtuosos of survival to whom they could entrust their most sacred knowledge, the blueprints of their existence. Detractors may view this theory with skepticism, but nestled within the sand-blasted stones of Edfu in Upper Egypt are echoes of this very narrative. Here, ancient texts speak of a golden epoch ruled by gods, who, following the ravages of a monumental flood, set out on an odyssey to resurrect their sunken world. This cadre of divine survivors, or so the ancient Egyptians believed, ventured across the globe, imbuing various nascent tribes with the essence of their advanced culture. It is through these refugees of a forgotten island that the embers of a profound civilization were scattered, igniting flames from the banks of the Nile to the stone circles of Salisbury Plain, from the temple spires of Angkor Wat to the earthworks dotting the Mississippi Valley. In these diverse manifestations of human ingenuity, we glimpse the possibility of a shared genesis, a cultural lineage birthed from an antediluvian society that once gazed at the stars in collective wonder. It is a tale of humanity's perseverance, the relentless striving for renewal amid the ashes of a world once lost, offering us a narrative not merely of survival, but of rebirth and continuity. Part 9. The Enigma of a Sophisticated Maritime Civilization, Lost to the Waves of Time. We stand on the shores of understanding, looking out over an oceanic mystery. This invisible man of antiquity, a civilization that mastered the seas well before the compass pointed European explorers to new worlds, left behind ripples, yet its own form lies just beneath the surface, out of sight. Its maritime prowess is hinted at from threads woven through both DNA lines and cartography. The genetic enigma of Australasian markers among Native Americans could point to a seafaring odyssey across the expanse of the Pacific. Medieval maps, such as the intricate designs of the Pizzigano chart or the uncle depths of Piri-Reis's work, hint at a knowledge of land masses remembered from a time when sea levels drew back the curtains on different shorelines. Skepticism may offer that these maps are products of error, yet the possibility lingers that they are the echoes of a sea-wise civilization. Perhaps these mariners mapped the coastlines, islands, and continents of a younger Earth, their wisdom fading to legend, then myth, and finally resurfacing in the maps of later mariners. Technological sophistication in realms beyond sailing is also part of this mysterious civilization's legacy. The Clovis culture, known for their meticulously engineered projectile points, presents an archaeological anomaly. These hunting implements appear abruptly in the record, with no evolutionary forebears, a technological Big Bang, if you will. One must entertain the possibility that the Clovis were endowed with this advanced technology not through a gradual ascent of innovation, but through a knowledge imparted by an advanced, unknown benefactor. As we consider this lost civilization's manifestation, their refined seafaring and enigmatic advancement in technology, we must also reflect on the span of time over which it developed. This raises the final, tantalizing questions. Let us embark upon the concluding piece of our epic puzzle, pondering how a civilization, predating our records, could have flourished, and how it might have been fundamentally and spiritually distinct from anything we've come to know in our own era. Part 10. Unveiling the Spirit of an Ancient World, a Civilization Rooted in Consciousness. In the shadow of Baalbek's grand edifices, where titanic stones defy the gravity of explanation, lies a question as heavy as the monoliths themselves. How did our ancestors achieve such architectural marvels? Their construction suggests a mastery over material that eclipses conventional understanding, hinting that perhaps we are searching for traces of their existence with the wrong set of tools. The clues to this lost civilization may not lie solely in physical remnants, but in their profound grasp of the immaterial. The author invites us to entertain the thought that they harnessed a different spectrum of science, one that intertwines consciousness with the fabric of reality. Could they have been adepts of psi abilities, such as telepathy and telekinesis, using the power of the mind to communicate and manipulate matter? Today's society is in a techno-dance, captivated by our gadgets and machines. But what if our predecessors danced to a spiritual drumbeat, one that resonated with shamanistic rhythms and transcended the material plane? This alternative conduit of knowledge, rooted in shamanic tradition, embraced trance states and visionary experiences as gateways to insight and enlightenment. For modern explorers curious about this ancient shamanic realm, the potent visions induced by ayahuasca extend an invitation. The sacred designs revealed under its influence often bear geometric motifs, a blueprint of knowledge accessible through altered states of consciousness. It's here, within the cosmic weavings of ayahuasca-induced designs, that the boundary between individual minds blurs and telepathic experiences are shared with striking regularity, a phenomenon that the author, through 70 personal encounters, can affirm is more than mere anecdote. Thus it's possible we stand at the crossroads of realizing that what was lost at the end of the Younger Dryas was far more than just a civilization. It could be that we severed our ties not just with a sophisticated culture, but with an entire realm of human potential, a domain where the shaman's song runs deeper than our silicon symphonies, encoding a forgotten fragment of our collective heritage. Final summary. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of America's ancient history, Graham Hancock presents a narrative that dares to stretch the imagination beyond the conventional chronicles. His provocative theory suggests that a sophisticated civilization once flourished on the American continent, thriving between the distant epochs of 130,000 years ago and 12,800 years ago. This civilization, Hancock postulates, was proficient in seafaring and graced with advanced technological understanding, particularly in the realms of geometry and astronomy. However, Tangible evidence of this grand civilization's existence has been elusive, washed away by the sands of time or, perhaps, the catastrophic events of the Younger Dryas. What remains are but echoes of its legacy, resonating through the ages in the cultural and spiritual imprints left upon civilizations that rose in the aftermath. From the ancient Egyptians with their celestial alignments to the intricate cosmologies of Native American tribes. Graham Hancock's tapestry of hypotheses weaves together disparate threads of humanity's past, challenging us to reconsider the lineage of our species and the civilizations that have shaped our understanding of history. As we stand on the brink of discovery, Hancock's work invites us to keep our minds open to the profound possibilities of America's storied before. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.